Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. But it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and this is my brother and partner in crime, but you know, my brother in Christ. Tony, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I'm good.
Great.
Yes.
Great. We're here today doing the same thing we've been trying to do ever since we started the show. Make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA and the USA with the plight of veterans. Now, we know that we are a country of laws. Country of laws. You know, that's what governs us. That's what keeps us all together. And we just happen to have seen that it works recently, even though it was a lot of money thrown at the process. And we see how that money had influenced the process, made it kind of chaotic. And, you know, a lot of people didn't understand what was going to happen to the ex-president being on trial for misconduct, things he did against the law of this country, not to include the insurrection. Not to include the insurrection, because he got charges in several other places in the country, but some kind of way the system has slowed down with prosecuting him, making him accountable for what his conduct. What we saw though in New York, this prosecutor, in spite of all the naysayers and the attacks upon the office of the prosecutor and the young man that's doing the prosecuting, the threats and the kind of stuff that this defendant threw at the criminal justice system when it attempted to call him to account for his behavior. Everybody forgot then that it's not guilty to proven guilty. You got to prove yourself guilty. Anybody can be charged with a crime, but that person is innocent until proven guilty. It's just a charge until you get a jury of your peers, right? That's a good thing. With jury of your peers, and I can tell you about that. I've been to trial 3 times, been to penitentiary 3 times, so I know how the system works. He was tried by a jury of his peers. And in spite of the millions of dollars he threw at the criminal justice system to try to dismantle, discredit that system, it worked. In spite of all that junk he threw at the lawyers he done got to fix them, make frivolous arguments, all the petitions he filed, trying not to even go to court, to get the charges thrown out. They was vetted through the court. He went to trial. And I think surprise to everybody, except those of us that believe in the Constitution, he was found guilty on all counts. And what that pointed out to us, the influence of money in our system, even though he put a lot of money there and he has influenced the system in a way that makes people suspect of it now. They make you suspect. But we saw it work anyway. In spite of all his trickery and all of his money, he was still held accountable for his misconduct. That should be something for veterans and every American to look at and see now how this is playing out still. There's no remorse, no humility, or nothing going on with this defendant, even though he's been convicted. You know, he's still going at the system saying it don't work. A system that has worked literally for over 240 years. We got a conviction of a billionaire, ex-president, want to be president again. Now, in the process of this, Tony, what we saw is how the laws are enforced in this country. You know, we saw how it took a prosecutor to bring the charges, go take it through the grand jury system where he was indicted, and gave him all kind of time to get prepared to go to trial, to defend himself against that charges, not having to put up any evidence itself, but to question the evidence that's putting up against him.
Mm-hmm.
And he questioned it every way that anybody could be questioned. But the jury wasn't deceived.
Right.
This jury was not deceived. They did their job the way they do it for any other criminal defendants. And he was found guilty. Now, what we seen come up out of this we had never seen before is a bunch of elected officials questioning the validity of the jury system.
Yes. Yeah.
Tony, can you explain some of that? I'm talking about, I'm trying to lay it out, but now the more I lay it out, the crazy it sounds.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that our judicial system that has worked for years, you know, we got to see it pushed to the point that we even were concerned as to whether it would stand up when challenged by this particular person, because we have watched him challenge the judicial system among other systems in the United States, and it failed to produce the results that we thought it was going to produce. But when it came down to the point of it actually being a legal judicial procedure that is established for the United States, it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
It
you
worked.
know, I will honestly admit, I had a feeling that at least one of those people that were on the court,
On the jury,
may not have gone along with it. But it proves, and I'm glad I was proved wrong.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my thoughts did not materialize to the point to where he could have possibly been acquitted by the judicial
hung
system.
jury. What you're talking about is a hung jury.
A hung jury.
One all it
person.
took would have been one person that said that the evidence was not conclusive enough for them. They had reasonable doubt.
Yes.
But 12 of these folks, all 12 of them say, ain't got no doubt.
No doubt. And the fact that how quickly they decided, it wasn't a long drawn out thing where in a lot of cases, particularly in cases involving him, they wanted to hear information told to them or read to them again about a particular procedure, or they questioned whether their authority would cover any particular part of this legal case, and it was not. It was very quick and efficient, and it worked. It shows the power of our legal system working, because we have seen him in the past challenge the judicial system, and it bent in his direction.
And still bending.
Yeah.
Because after we saw what happened in New York, we questioned the other cases all around the country that he had. Especially, I'm concerned with the one that he had here in Georgia. Now, I'm a born citizen of Georgia, and I know when the laws of the state are violated, especially with me and with you, and they don't try to block the prosecution of that. But we have seen in our great state of Georgia, every effort under the sun to make sure this man was not tried on the laws that he violated.
Yeah.
They went so vicious as to go into personal attacks upon the prosecutor.
Yes.
I mean, the personal attacks are so strong, Tony, that this lady have not been able to take this case to trial. Because you know what would have happened? The same thing that happened in New York. The citizens of Georgia would have seen through the whole mess. And they know it. They know that. And so what they are doing, the Republicans in this state, is sabotaging our justice system for this one guy. For this one guy. And the way they are sabotaging it, it just breaks my heart because they're using government, people elected to government to do this. I mean, I watched the inquiries on whether she should be on the trial or not. They threw all kind of dirt at this lady, but they never connected what does her personal lifestyle had to do with the charges.
Exactly.
I could never see the relationship, but they didn't have to do the relationship because they got the power to twist people thinking, to give out misinformation, to get what they want. And I think it's time for us to stand up in the spirit of Robert E. Love, man. I'm gonna just tell you that.
Yeah.
Brother that was a veteran that taught me more about politics in the short time that I knew him than all the other times in my life. How to get people elected to office and how to hold them accountable if they don't do what we want them to do.
You weren't the only one. His mission was not just a select few, but the community. He wanted to educate the community on the power we have for voting. You know, early on when I first met him, and I didn't meet him a long time, when he talked about the idea of Atlanta having a black donut, meaning the communities that make up the perimeter that goes around the city would have elected officials that reflected the community.
And it did.
And it worked.
He did it. He did.
You know, to see him do that, it was so effortless on his part. His knowledge and understanding of the system made me go like, I had no idea that we had that kind of power within the community, but he was able to show us that we have that kind of power in the community, and it happened. And not only did it happen, but a lot of these positions and officers have been reelected to those offices.
Reelected to those offices.
You know,
and in spite of
the effort
of
the governing body within this state, the Republican governing body within this state, he was able to pass that and make it substantial enough to where they have no control. They left it up to the voting community, and the voting community said, this is what we want, and that's what they've done. It just shows you the power that we have in the community as long as we work as a unit for or against whatever it is that we're dealing with. And we have an incredible example here with the Republican governing party in this state and our willingness to fight against their power, that particularly in the city of Atlanta. Yeah.
And Tony, I'm so glad you laid it out like that, brother, because see, that's the same kind of mentality that we need to go into the rest of this year, the rest of these elections with.
Yes.
Because see, they didn't expose themselves now.
Yes.
They didn't expose themselves. And we know, and I believe that the greater heart of Americans is to maintain this constitutional democracy.
Yes.
And to grow this constitutional democracy. In spite of all the lies and manipulation, we've seen what the citizens will do when it's in their hands.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, they like you said, they could have. I think everybody was looking for some hocus pocus to come off in that and to derail it.
Yep.
Right? I'm thinking he's going to have one juror on that that ain't going to convict.
That's it.
They're going to have a mistrial.
Yes.
That's me. I'm just confessing
that
too
was
now.
Me also. Yes.
I'm confessing that I was looking for a wrench to be thrown into the process where he was going to get off without a conviction.
Right.
But Lord have mercy.
Yes.
I mean, these jurors, these citizens, these Americans showed up that they believe in the system and they let it work.
Yeah.
See, one of the things that we got to always understand that democracy is only as strong as our belief in it.
Yes.
You know, how much we are willing to give to keep it. Because it wasn't always that way, Tony.
No.
You know, we can remember.
Yes.
You know, we can remember in our life. And I think, I'm 77, you 77. That's relatively young, really, in a sense, at looking at where this country has came from and looking back to how people live to be 90 and 100 years old. So we still got some time left to make a difference. And I want to say this, brother, I'm so proud of being a partner with you.
Yes.
I mean, I really appreciate you, brother, because, see, a lot of folks wouldn't go with me during what we did.
It has been challenging.
but you know, we have, I know Rob Pitts, you know, he know us on site.
Right.
Probably every commissioner down there know us on site.
Right.
Because we have not hesitated to go to them, asking them to let our government work for us. And we got some of it.
Yes. Yes.
We got some of it. We got Michael Julian Bond, amazing brother.
Yes.
Listen, I can remember he tell y'all ain't got no business. You ain't got to worry about raising no money for this. The city gonna pay for this. This was what we started off wanting in the first place.
Yes.
We didn't want this to be no fundraising for for the chapter for us. We wanted to get the city to put their seal on the service of these young men.
Yeah.
And not only that, now it opened it up, Tony. I was in front of my high school. You was over there with me, man.
Yep.
You know, in front of White High School. Right after graduations that took place, and I was wondering when we was over there, how many of these young people was going into the military this year?
Yep.
Every year. Washington High, Harper, all of the schools in our community that graduate young folks out. Some of them going into the military.
Exactly.
Some of them going to uphold this democracy that we got that have brought us so far in such a short time period. So now I say 77, but Tony, when we were children, playing in the streets of Metro Atlanta, you know, we couldn't look to city council and see nobody that looked like us.
No.
That never did.
No.
Couldn't look to the county commission and see anybody that looked like us. Matter of fact, let me say this. Leroy Johnson and Julian Barnes and Marvin Arrington Sr., they were just penetrating government when we were teenagers, when we was in high school. They were just penetrating. They was knocking on the door.
You missed a major name. Hosea. Yes.
I don't never want to miss my hero.
Oh, yes.
Listen, to talk about Hosea, I'm going to Forsyth, Georgia next month to speak, and I was invited to go.
Yeah.
I was invited to come to Forsyth, Georgia, where Hosea was not welcome.
Yep.
Don't answer that.
Okay. So what we're looking at in our lifetime, in our service period, since we've been, I started off in 2011 when at Concerned Black Clergy, when I wrote this book.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this book, Short Change. I said, what does short change mean? I said, because with the benefits that we earn from our service, it's not coming back to our community, so we're being short changed. We're giving the best and the brightest, to military service every year. Every year, we replenish the military with it. And I just know that we've been shortchanged because I went in, Tony, in 67. And I went to Vietnam, served in Vietnam, got a record, got a record for serving in Vietnam, got a record for being wounded in combat. It took me to 1984 to be service connected for wounds I've received in war. 16 years after I left Vietnam. So I felt shortchanged. But then I realized I wasn't the only one that's being shortchanged. Everybody I know, Chauncey, I hope you listening today, brother. Chauncey didn't go to Vietnam, but he was in the military. He's disabled now. I'm gonna find out why my buddy is disabled, whether he was at one of them stations in America that caused his disability. You know, I mean, because there was a lot of people that went to Washington High, went to Harper, went served in the military. They didn't go overseas. They served right here in the United States.
Stateside service. Yeah.
But had it not been for that service in stateside, those of us in Vietnam would have perished.
Yes.
We wouldn't last no more than 6 months because we wouldn't have been resupplied. We wouldn't have got the support that we needed to fight the war. So what I'm saying today is that we are blessed from your service, not just your military service. I'm talking about the service that me and you've been doing here in Atlanta in the last few years. Because we proved two things, that some of our political leaders, elected officials, will listen.
Yes.
If you got something to say. Because we, you know, that don't mean every one of them sit down and talk to us and welcome us with open hands. They just kept seeing us. They said, well, it doesn't matter. They sincere about what they doing. So we're gonna respond. We got Marvin Arrington Jr. To set up a veteran service program and giving out money every year since we did it.
Yes.
They ain't getting it to the right people yet.
Right.
That's the problem.
But the money is available. We've got to be able to direct it to those agencies that will definitely benefit veterans. But that's a challenge. At least we've got the funds. Now we've got to establish a system so that those funds get to the most needed.
The most needed.
Yes.
And, you know, I know we're going to do it because our commissioner, you know, who appointed us, is down with the program. You know, he's down with the program, and he ain't got no problem with coming on this show talking about it.
Right.
Now, we had some problems in the city of Atlanta, but Michael has been here on the program. We tried to get the opposition to all of these things that we're talking about. Just come on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just come talk to us.
Yeah.
Let us know what your opposition is all about so we can see whether it's legitimate or not. Because one of the things that Trump has pointed out to me, that we got a lot of haters in places in government and business in the community that's stopping the growth of our giving everybody equal opportunities, giving everybody a chance at the American dream. Because the wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few that's manipulating the rest of us. So short change, when I wrote short change, Dr. Pierre, I love Dr. Pierre because he straight up, he looked at me, he said, boy, you had a character there. But God is good.
Yep.
God is good. And not only did he look at the character what redemption came about, he also looked at the book and what I was saying. He said, this should be in the house of everybody that got somebody in the military. So that they'll understand what you're saying. They go in these situations and they get disabled and they come back as a burden on their family rather than a access to their family. You know, and when you got cancer, who was there for you? Your family. You know, when you got diabetes, who was there for you? Your family. See, that they have removed our service so far from the community, we forget that every year at high school graduation, we sending our young people into the military. We send them in there to serve. And that means that they will serve to the death, some of us. Because we always got some military interest somewhere in the world that's causing us to have walls and rumors of walls. So we got to make sure that we stay on the battlefield, brother. Because had it not been for you, ain't no way in the world I could have did this by myself. Going with me, asking these people. Because what we were doing was sort of radical because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
They out trying to raise money to get this done, trying to raise money. Well, we're trying to raise where already at. We pay taxes every day.
Yep.
We're paying into these governments that's supposed to be looking out for the betterment of the people, all the people. And we was able to see that can work.
Yes.
it can work. Now, I got kind of peeved at the meeting today, at our monthly membership meeting, because all of these folks that have arrived, and I'm talking to y'all, that got these 100%, you know, that got them through Vietnam Veteran of America's effort, you still got to stay on the battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the things, you got to look at your neighbor. You got to look at those brothers that served in the same time period, was exposed to the same chemicals that you was exposed to, and the VA been telling them no. Now they got an opportunity to revisit those claims. And you got people sitting up in the VA that don't want this to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want it to happen. They're telling people, you called in and canceled your claim. Why would you do that? Who does that? Who fight for years to get what they deserve, and then all of a sudden they pick up the phone and call VA and say, I'm canceling my claim. They got people working in the VA that's working against the best interests of veterans. And we want to know why. We want them out of our agency. That's our agency. That agency belongs to us. It's called the Veteran Administration. And we need it to operate in the way that it was designed to operate, Tony. It says simply this: if you serve in this U.S. military, and if you harmed in any kind of way, we're going to take care of you and your family till you get better. That's a pledge that they're not keeping to every veteran. Every veteran. You know, I'm looking at people that served in Okinawa. They still having problems getting the benefits, even though DOD and VA know that stuff was there. Augusta, right here in our own home state, they just putting it on the PAC Act list location. But we got cases that was pending before that law came into being. And now that it's coming to being, the VA still are not recognizing those claims. They should have went to the head of the class.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
They should have went to the head of the class, because that stuff was already at VA. VA know about it, know what they're saying. But do you think that they went to the head of the class? No, they got into a let's play paper game now. You got it on the wrong form. We still being shortchanged.
Yep.
And we're not leaving the store till you give us our money. See, that's what they should know. We're going to take the Reverend Love passion for getting us to vote. I want y'all to take my passion for getting these benefits, because they will change the landscape of our community.
Yes.
They will. Think about this. Every veteran who served a good time of military service can get a house with no money down. Why you got homeless veterans then?
Yeah.
You know why? Because they got a credit system set up that eliminate the eligible.
Yes.
They eliminate the eligible, because if your credit score in a certain place, oh well, you can't get your house because your credit's got bad credit. Duh. I'm living in a bad economy.
Yeah.
You know, you got the economy constructed where I can't pay rent with the money I earn. I can't pay all my bills on time with the money I earn. I got to go out and do extra work or do graft.
Yeah.
Start doing stuff. People stealing from the job.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that is what the VA was set up for was to help veterans. And so if a veteran comes to you homeless and saying, you know, I'm homeless, I need help, then everything should have clicked. Okay, you are homeless. Let's set up a program to help this veteran who's homeless get to the point to where he can truly benefit by purchasing a home without a down payment, with all those benefits. And guess what? Once he's there, he is now an official benefit for the community, because now he's paying a mortgage. It's not as much as his neighbor, because his neighbor's not of that, but he earned that right by serving in the military. And that's all that we are trying to make the community aware of, that yes, we have a real homeless population, but we have a VA system that's set up to help those veterans who find themselves in a homeless situation, because we have a system set up so that they can purchase a home without a down payment.
Yeah, down payment.
You know,
and Tony, when you talk about homelessness, I was at Fort McPherson. Well, I'm out there regular, but I went in a part of Fort McPherson that I hadn't been in years. When Herman and the Veterans Helping Veterans Organization, one of our community partners, was out there, so I went out there to support them. And I realized that they got all of those barracks that military personnel used to stay in vacant. And there's enough barracks out there to take everybody off the streets in Atlanta that are facing homelessness. And I'm wondering why we had that collaboration. Those buildings been empty for years. For years. I mean, they got bunks still in them, they got bunk beds, they got kitchen, they got bathroom, they got showers, they got everything it needs to take a human being off the street and put them in the barracks. And then, you know what? That property is owned by the government.
Yes, yeah.
So why have a VA and DOD got together and say, listen, in Atlanta, we're not just gonna let them buildings sit there till they rot. We're gonna use them. Why y'all trying to figure out what we're gonna do with them? We're gonna use them to make sure that we don't have a homeless population. We got all kind of colleges in the area that got social work programs, they got medical programs. So if VA is not able to provide the case management for each person, let the schools come in.
Yes, yeah. Get the community involved.
Get the community involved.
I would venture to say, if you let the colleges, particularly, we're going to go with the black colleges, because they truly understand what's going on with that situation, then I'm quite sure there are programs already established in the universities to teach kids how to be a social worker. And by doing that, they've got a captured audience right there. Now we can run our experiments to see how this works. And the other wonderful thing about it, those who are having healthcare challenges, there's a medical facility right there for VA personnel. You know, it's almost like a perfect storm, that you got here. We have a challenge, and then we have a facility to house them, and we're going to be able to help them get past the housing and handle their medical challenges that they're dealing with.
And we got their social work needs.
Yes.
See, because these schools, and Clark has already stepped up and said, yeah, we're part of that.
Yes.
And Grady is right down the streets from there,
Yeah.
too, Tony. So it is a perfect storm.
Yes.
We need to, and now we're going to do it, too.
Yeah.
We're going to advocate this collaboration in the highest way. So we're going to embarrass some of these people that tell you need all this money to deal with the homeless problem, because you don't. You already got the land. You already own the facilities. All you got to do is move them people from the street.
Right.
That's good, man. Then we could bust them out to Fort Mac, all of them. And then turn around and make sure they're going to stay there. If you get caught in the streets again, littering, you're going to be put in a jail. You're not going to go to prison. You're coming right back to this program that you're in. We're going to keep you in it till you get straight.
Right. Because that is one of the major tasks of the VA, is to care for those veterans after they've done their service. Here's an opportunity for them to actually demonstrate that.
But you know what? They ain't gonna say nothing.
No.
Except jump on you if you go out there and knock on the door. They jump on you if you go out there and knock on the door trying to get some answers.
Yes.
But this is veterans talking, ain't nothing but a thing. It's a thing where we're just veterans talking to veterans in the community. Now, we always invite people on the show. And the reason we invite people on the show, we want to start a dialogue. We want to start people working together in the community. We had dancing shoes here with Sister Bridget, and she was down at the park with us down there at Dream Center. We got rain out though, Tony, but it was a beautiful experience for me, because I've been going in and out of Fort Hood all of my life. But they got a amphitheater down there, man, that's so beautiful with a tomb of an unknown soldier. I didn't even know nothing about that. And the park is so gracious design.
Yeah.
I said, what happened to this? This the same tax dollars that I get on the other side down with it. Okay, Tony. I know. But what I saw down there is our tax money at work, and it was a beautiful experience, even though the rain got caused out. And I want to shout out to the Dream Center. We're gonna get them on the show because they have been supportive of our chapter and the Sons of Atlanta since the beginning. You know, and that's building relationships in our community. That's all us working for the same thing: a better Atlanta for everybody. And we need to continue doing that, Tony, because see, what they see in us is service. They seeing us out doing stuff. Now that we got the memorial approved and getting ready to move to the next stage of construction, we need to get more community involved. So we're looking forward to Dr. Reverend Crenshaw Caldwell being here on the 16th. And then we're looking for my pastor, Greg Pan, the preacher man, coming on the show. Because these are pillars. These are pillars in our community that's going to help us make sure that the community is not being shortchanged the way we've been shortchanged with the VA. The VA got this year $307 billion.
Yeah.
That's billion with the B. Now, less than 20% of veterans ever use the VA.
Right.
With $307 billion, they could do some good work.
Yeah. Yes.
That's good. That's a good budget to work with. If they would stop this giving it to organizations in the community because they got good grant writers, or they know the politicians.
Yeah.
You know what we should have got a piece of that $56 million that they put out there for mental health. You know they put out $56 million for mental health, and another thing I think what 30-some million for homelessness. And VA got the best homeless programs in the country. They just don't have enough of them. They got one at the Fort McPherson.
Yep.
They done took some of the barracks and spent big money to renovate the building, and most of the space that they renovated is for administrative stuff, not for homeless people. And we got to be able to have the conversation with these folks that's making these decisions.
Exactly.
You know, because the decisions you're making ain't for the betterment of the whole community. Because, see, it breaks my heart every time I go downtown to go to the Capitol. I mean, whether it's on Trinity or Georgia State Capitol. Because I got to pass through by these tents and people sleeping on the steps.
Yep.
But we got politicians that step right over them every morning.
Yeah. Not just politicians, but also a governor.
A governor.
Yeah.
Governor.
You know.
Governor. I mean, the elected officials.
Yeah, the elected official, you know. But oh yeah.
We gonna keep at it, Tony.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad. I don't care if we wasn't but 3 members at the meeting today.
Yeah.
Me and you and Guy, Reverend Guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? We had a better conversation.
Yes, we did. Yep. Yep.
Because what we were having a conversation with each other, it's like we was preaching to the choir, and we already in the pulpit. We already doing what we supposed to do. But what we was trying to figure out today, how to do it better.
Yes,
exactly.
How
to do it better. And I think we're gonna come up with some stuff because last week at the Dream Center event, I went out with our community auctions, right? Where we're trying to build a volunteer army that's gonna represent the Sons of Atlanta in community centers and libraries. We want people to be in the libraries to make sure that they get good information. So we got a lot of veterans got books. I got books. I like to have it in Fulton County because it don't just tell the story about the Vietnam War. In the back of it, it show you how to go about doing a claim. You know, so it's not just telling the story of why we got shortchanged and how we got shortchanged. It's just telling you how to overcome it. You know, how do you deal with it? You deal with it by accepting the fact that I got shortchanged. I ain't finna go, bro. You got to give me my money. You know, I can count. You know, it shouldn't have took me 16 calendar years to get my benefits started, and I didn't. That's getting them started. Now it took me to 2022 to become 100% service connected disabled. And I've been out of work. I ain't worked in over 20 years because of my disability. And why? The VA, you know, the VA, I was working at the VA.
Yeah.
You know, so when they said I was, you know, my condition made it unsafe for people to work around me. So I said, well, that's what they said. You know, so they made people scared to hire me. And made it illegal for people to hire me up until 2022. They gave me 100% total and permanent. Said, okay, well, you messed up. You ain't gonna get no better. I'm 77 years old. How can I expect to get any better?
Yeah.
They done took them other years away from me.
Yep.
You know, I came home at the age of 21 from Vietnam. At the age of 21, and I just got service connected at the highest level in 2022.
See, that shouldn't happen. The system should work better than that.
It should work better than that. Because what happened then? My children suffered. Because I wasn't working. I wasn't able to work. I was on a mental trip that caused me to spend 20 years in prison. My kids didn't get any of the benefits that they should have got because I should have been 100%. If I'd have got those benefits, they could have went to school.
Yep.
You know, they would have had income every month rather than the little income that I could generate for them in prison, from prison, to try to help care for them. So what happened now? That meant their mom and my mom and, you know, my family had to come together and make sacrifices to make sure they was okay. So it shortchanged not just me, it shortchanged my family and my community.
Exactly.
So I ain't finna leave the store, Tony. I want my money. I want my money. So what we're doing, we're right now asking the community, if you want to volunteer, you can volunteer with Vietnam Veterans of America. That's our organization, to work in any of our program. We definitely need people with the Sons of Atlanta project, and we need people with the homeless project, because what we want to do, we want to expand our services to people that are not veterans, meaning our knowledge and our way of working. We're gonna start adding Social Security benefits to our Veteran Service Rep program. What does that mean? Meaning that there are two disability systems in this country. That's VA and Social Security. Okay, Social Security benefits designed for any American that becomes disabled, whether they are children or grown-ups of any age. That's Social Security disability. Now, a lot of people get it confused with Social Security retirement, you know, because that's in the same system, Social Security retirement. And the government work it like it's the same system, because in certain cases under VA, you can't get both Social Security and VA benefits. If you got what they call a pension from VA, you can't get Social Security too. You can get it, but they're gonna be offset. You know, they're gonna be offset, so it'd be one number. There are some people not getting anything that's disabled, so they're more given toward Social Security, because in order to get VA benefits, you got to be done served in the military.
Okay.
You know, but there are people that never served in the military that can get benefits out of Social Security. Those benefits would stop them from being homeless because they're sick. You know, they're disabled. They're not able to keep a job, find a job and keep a job. So we're gonna move the ball to another level by reaching out in the community, and we're gonna do that with Reverend Caldwell, with his center. He has a great program out there where he's feeding people every day. But you know, a lot of those people come through there, they're homeless. They're homeless people. And I believe this, and nobody is homeless unless they got a problem that's preventing them from functioning in a way that they're able to take care of themselves and their families. And that's what the disability systems are designed to do. We just don't know it. We can get them disability benefits, and that'll help them. We get them into a housing program where they can get social work. We can determine whether they need to be on disability or whether they need to be on treatment that can get them back into the work world. Because there's plenty of jobs. So it's no excuse for people not working unless they're sick. And that's what you'll find in the homeless environment. Sick people. They're not people that, you know, normally, you ain't got nobody out there in the environment that's normal. Because if they were, they'll be on a job.
Yep.
They'll be taking care of themselves and their family. So we're gonna bring that to the table. And we need volunteers, so you can volunteer with Vietnam Veterans of America community service options. What we do, we take them from, you know, anybody that want to volunteer, whether it's code audit volunteering where you got to do community service, or you just want to do something in your community to make a difference. So we're opening up and asking anybody and everybody that want to do some volunteer work in the community. We need you. We need your help. And we want to make sure that you understand that we need your help. And it's for the betterment of the community. One of the things that we've learned since we've been doing this is that most of the problems in our community, we can solve them if we come together.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the resources already there in place to do it. We just haven't built these coalitions and partnerships. You know, you think about it. If the city of Atlanta and the federal government, the VA and the Department of Defense would come together and do a collaboration on Fort McPherson, it ain't got to be no long-term collaboration. It ain't got to be no 50-year collaboration. It could be a 10-year collaboration. We would cure homelessness. Period. Period. We can fix it. We got enough resources right now. They ain't got to go back to the budget to do nothing. Could take some of that $25 million that the city of Atlanta say they got. I don't know how much East Point got. I don't know how much, you know. Collaborations.
Yep.
And all these schools that need to be, the students that need to be doing internships, you know. Let's make it a partnership for the community to build a beloved community that Dr. King was talking about, where everybody in the community cares about everybody in the community. And we can do away with the gun violence. We can do away with crime. We can control mental illness. We can do all of that with what we got now. If we just wake up and realize that we're in this together. We're in it together.
Yeah. Those are great programs. And you mentioned Reverend Caldwell. He'll be here on the 15th. And it'll be interesting because that is partially a description of what he's doing within the community. And we want to see how he's making it work. And by finding out how he's making it work, maybe we can help. But the other thing is we're putting it out there to let the community know. Because I'm quite sure there's a major portion of the community that has no idea what he's doing.
No idea.
And so now, by giving him a voice, maybe he can get volunteers, you know, or even not just volunteers, donations that will help him with the program that he's doing. Yeah. I'm excited to find out more about what he is actually doing.
And he needs volunteers because he get truckloads of that food, and he needs people to help him get it organized in the center, help him get it played out. Because he got volunteers out there, but they're not enough.
Right. There's never enough.
There's never enough for what he's doing. He's doing a great job for the community. So we're gonna lift him up We're gonna have him here not just because he's a veteran, but because he's a veteran.
Yeah. And we love giving veterans voice.
Yeah, we love
in the community. Yes.
We want people to know that we are value, we are asset, not just a liability. So a lot of people look at us as homeless and, you know, with mental illness issues where they got to take, you know, responsibility for us. But all of us are not like that. You know, and a lot of mental patients, a lot of veterans with disabilities, they can still do a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They can do some volunteer. I volunteer every day.
Yeah.
Every day I volunteer. This is what I do to keep me from, you know, not feeling useless.
Yeah.
It's a way of me feeling valued. You know, when I see the expression on people's face that I help them get their benefits, it's rewarding to me.
Yeah.
To know that, well, you know, I learned something in the process of trying to get my own, so I'm gonna share it. You know, I'm gonna share what I know, and that way we have been able to do a lot, and we're gonna be able to do a lot more, because we ain't finna stop. We got the memorial coming up now. We finna go in these community centers. See, because what a lot of people don't realize, every issue in the community, the government done put some money.
Oh, yeah.
For it.
Yes.
But they don't tell you where it at. Or they give it to the pimp before you get to it. You know, we got to be able to have that information in the community where it can benefit the community. See, that's all we're looking for. We have it where it can benefit the community because it's their tax dollars coming back to make a difference. It's their tax dollars.
And we the interesting part about that is we all pay taxes into these government systems that collect them, and so we need to get reimbursed some of the money that we've contributed, you know, because it is going to benefit the community, and if it benefits, we all benefit from it, and we know, and we see it every day, the need is always there, you know. And so we want to not only just be, but we want to direct it in a way that the community benefits, you know, because there's plenty of money coming back, but unfortunately, all of it, some of it doesn't reach the people that it was originally designed to benefit from it. But it's there. And so we want to be a part of that organization that makes the community aware of the availability of funds, and those people in control of those funds get them to those community sections that are deserving of those funds. And this is a fact about government funding, and we're all aware of that, and we've all observed the fact that all funds don't always reach where they were initially intended to reach, but some of it is still put in the community. And so we want to make sure that everybody benefits and those funds get to some of the people that they were intended to reach.
Yeah, because I think if we start now doing that, in 10 years from now, it'll be something that the community automatically does.
Yes.
You just got to get them in the habit of understanding that if you're homeless, you pay taxes.
Yes.
Really. You go in the store and try to buy something, you don't got no tax money.
Yeah.
They ain't going to take your money.
That's it.
Or they going to take your money, they're going to give you something reduced so they can get them taxes. You know, and we need to understand that every day the government is collecting taxes from the time the store open to the time the store closed. And they're coming from every little store in the community, all across our community every day. We paying tax. You know, Tony, I think a lot of people done forgot why this country got started. Why did this country get started? They broke away from the mother country because they was having issues with the tax dollars getting back to the community. Taxation without representation was the cry of the war for independence. That was the whole cry. Y'all ain't taking care of us. We ain't paying no more taxes. We're going to set up our own government, independent of you. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Now we need to work this government. Because one thing we done found out over the years and looking at how it works. If we follow the system, it works. You know, yeah, if you got money, you can throw a lot of wrenches in it too. But it works. It works. We just saying it worked. And we need to keep it working because we got to make sure that people that are working in the system are not intimidated by these bullies that's trying to change the system that we got.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad.
You know, we got to make sure that these people that stand up and do the right thing for the country are not intimidated or harmed. You know, we need to come. We need to have that conversation with the president, because I believe this. Donald Trump and his followers are trying to whip up a violent response to this election coming up, because they're just like they thought that he was gonna walk out of the courtroom free man. This election gonna beat him down so bad he gonna have a headache. When he look up at the ballot machine that he was overwhelmingly defeated in every state, just like them people had them 34 indictments. Donald Trump gonna lose in every state in the union because people are tired of the chaos.
Yeah, I think part of it is in this trial is one of the elements that showed him that he's not all he's made up to be.
Yeah,
and that like all of us, he's human and he has flaws, but unfortunately, he has taken advantage of his ability to have a certain amount of wealth. The sad part about that is that it wasn't wealth that he earned. A major portion of it came from his father for years that kept him in the position that he was in.
Yeah.
And you know, the sad part about that, as you sit back, and those of us who remember some of his shenanigans, everything he did failed.
Everything he did personally failed. It's only his father's platform, real estate.
Yes.
That was his daddy's stuff, the real estate.
The real estate in New York. Yes.
That's the only thing that saved that got him where he's at now. Yeah. Because, like you said, Trump University, fraud.
Yeah.
You know, his company, the Trump organization, fraud.
His airline,
fraud.
Yeah.
The football team, fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, everything he's done failed to his capacity.
Yes.
To his capacity. See,
and you find it hard to believe that a major segment of our community wants to give him the highest office in the country, and he's already proven that he couldn't handle that. It was challenging when he was at that position before, and now they want to give it back to him. You know.
And he had one of the best records of being a loser than anybody I know. He got the best record. He's the best loser we know.
Yes.
And we need to stop these people that follow him. We need to pray for these folks, because see, I'm believing that he has the spirit of the Antichrist.
Yes. He's
influencing people with a demon spirit.
Yes.
And you know, we study that. We know that the Antichrist, the spirit of the Antichrist, is among us, and it's among us in ways right now we can see it. Because nobody is supposed to be following an evil leader, and this man has shown himself to be evil ever since he been in the public light. When he didn't want to rent the black people because he didn't think we was, you know, worthy of staying in his places. So, but we're gonna close with this, Tony.
Yeah.
www.sonsofatlanta.org. Go to this website. You will see the work that we worked on so long in terms of the memorial. We was able to add a name to the list. It's Memorial Day. Arthur. What is his name?
We're still alive.
Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur is Valerie Jones' brother. So we was able to add him to the memorial. Why? Because he was killed while serving in the U.S. military during the Vietnam War period.
And he's a son of Atlanta.
And he's a son
Yes,
of Atlanta.
and so we want to recognize everyone.
Every son of Atlanta
Yes.
that paid the ultimate price. And if he was in the military and died or was killed during that period, just let us know. Because we want to put him in the part with the rest of our local heroes.
Yeah.
Because these are our heroes. No greater love than this, that they lay down their life for this country. And that's what they did. They laid down their lives for this country. So go to sonsofAtlanta.org and show your love. You can purchase a brick, or you can just make a donation. You might not want a brick. Or you might already have a brick and you just feel like, well, it's time to make a donation. Because what we're doing, we're building a movement. It's more than just a monument in the park for these guys. We are going into their communities with their sense of service and commitment to make a difference. And we're going to make a difference in honor of them, in honor of all those that serve. Because see, you can put your name in the park on this memorial. All you got to do is just purchase a brick. Just purchase a brick. They start at $100 and go up to $1,000. What you want to say? You can say it now, because we are at that point with this project, Tony, that we got a vendor.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you have the last 2 minutes.
No, you
Okay.
good. Yes.
All right, so what we got a vendor, and we need to be talking about these bricks, because now the vendor that we got is not the guy that helped us do the memorial, design the memorial. So we need to get ready, so we can get the bricks in the park. You get your name in the park with us. Come on, sonsofAtlanta.org. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and share this show with your family and friends, because we want people to know that we're here. And we are here because our project is a call to unity for our community, so that we can improve the quality of life for everybody. Yeah. It's all about this democracy and the people that are called Americans. We want the best for you. So until next time, we want you to be strong in faith that the democracy works and it's good for all of us. So until next time, we want to bid you farewell. And Father Tony, you want to say good?
And I will say salute to all of those veterans that are going to be supporting us with this particular memorial. Mm-hmm. Until next week, same time, same station. Good night.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good show. We